Real quick, you both stop the real quick touch. Double check the steering wheel.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Nice and smooth. Get it all done all day long. Got a good feeling about today, guys.
Donnie Kite's gonna get through it all and score his first career win in the Saturday Night Racing League Cup Series. What a finish!
Too little, too late from behind, and Sebastian Marin, your first repeat top split winner of the qualifying series.
We knew it was just a matter of time. Hunter Sr. is victorious.
Josh Adams taking the win at Iowa.
GC Spider Motorsports takes home the 1-2-3 finish.
Hey Dad, did you know that replacing your cooling system reduces repair costs and improves energy efficiency? Plus it operates more efficiently, which means more money in my pocket. I mean, your pocket. Hey Dad, did you know that a new cooling system is less noisy and has a smart thermostat you can control from your phone?
How'd you get so smart?
Must be from Mom.
When it comes to your home's most important decisions, make the smart choice and trust your local Cedar Rapids Pro partner. We're in your neighborhood, so call today.
After a 1-week hiatus, the tail end of March brings us to a 1.5-mile racetrack in the Mojave Desert. The Nellis Back Straight, the Tri-Oval, the steep banking, progressive and fast. Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the Chapman Cup Series, live on Vspeed. It's the Recharge Rally 200, and it was 1 year to go today that we brought you coverage here for the Recharge Rally. We're going to do it again here on Vspeed. I'm your host, Bradley Cooper, alongside Alex Gagnon, with camera packs provided by the best iRacing cams with Dougie Beard. So, Alex, we've come here at the first intermediate, I would say, that we've had on the schedule so far. We've seen road courses, we've seen super speedways. Now it's time to get to what I would think is the real schedule.
Yeah, and I'm sure you're not the only one to say so. I think a lot of drivers in the field will really consider this the first true test of the year to see where everyone's at coming out of the off season. You know, we've had a few races under their belts, but nothing defines, the modern day Cup Series quite like these 1.5-mile tracks. So if you don't have speed here, you're going to be in trouble for the bulk of the season, because we go to a lot of tracks of this style throughout the year. Vegas, of course, being the first one on the test, and not all 1.5 miles are built the same. This one, I think a lot of drivers really enjoy because you do get to maintain a lot of speed going through the corners here. It is a very fast 1.5 miler, and you get to run a couple lanes on this racetrack.
Taking a look at those points, Dakota Floyd, after the victory last week, his first win on Wednesday night, takes the points lead by just 3 points. Jeremy Burns, who found success at COTA, was able to get it done. He'll be trailing there, but it's a 3-point gap, then a 2-point gap back to Matthew Robinson. Dylan Picklesheimer in the top 5, all the way down to Joe Joya in the 7 car, 20th in points. But it's time to take you trackside and get that pole award up on the screen. Starting on the top position, it's going to be the 66 of Carter Lenz. And man, he's had a lot of success here. KLD Trucking Pole Award goes to Carter Lenz. He will have Jeremiah Nelson starting on his outside. Row number 2 belongs to Trevor Keith with Trevor Earhart. So row number 2 belonged to Trevor's. Then you have row number 3 with Caleb Gilbert, Justin Ritchie in 6th. Jeremy Burns and Michael Call will start 7th and 8th. And your top 10, Al Likens, Matt Robinson in the 11th.
Looking back to row number 6, it'll be Tyler Harrison and Justice Murphy. Row 7, Dylan Picklesheimer, as well as Brandon Pamitat. Dakota Floyd, Brandon Richardson, 15th and 16th here. Alex Forget rolls off 17th alongside Parker Johnson in the 18th spot, with row 10 being Christopher Schaefer and Grant Turner.
21st spot with Kevin Orlando Jr. Nick Alves will start in 22nd. You go back to 23rd with Michael Reed and Ben Laughter. 25th with Daniel Holloway. As we're past the halfway in this field, we're going to go one extra. No, we are not. Fred Pennington, let's get ready to race here. Week number 5 of the Season 6 Racing Revolution in the Chapman Cup Series. Live and racing. Let's roll the dice at Las Vegas. Lynn's going to lead lap number 1. It was a toss-up there. 31 of Nelson got to the outside. I was talking to these drivers in the pre-race, Alex, and they said the handling since this update, Las Vegas has changed tremendously in this next-gen stock car.
Yeah, and that is going to have, I think we'll see, especially in these opening 40 laps or so, you're going to see a lot of cars really start to either fall back or gain track position in a hurry, depending on who got on top of that update faster and got a sense on how this handling has been updated. Because this will be one of those moments where if you don't like the way the car is handling, you burn up your stuff too much, you're going to be in trouble, as Nelson's going to the inside of Linz here for the lead into 3.
Got a good run there out of turn 2. 31's going to take a peek here off of 4, not able to complete the pass, and it'll be side by side for the 3rd position between Justin Ritchie, now 3 wide into 1.
Yeah, here we go. Keith to the inside of Nelson, Ritchie up high, 3 abreast as they come across turn 2, all chasing Carter Lenz down the back straightaway. Little bit of contact there between the 15 and the 31. Everyone keeps it sorted out, though. We keep rolling, and now Likens trying to get to the outside of Caleb Gilbert, who's trying to make this.
Boy.
Oh, that's getting tight. Oh, boy.
That was a close call there. Leaning on it for the 15 and the 31. Now creates a 3-wide situation behind them without Likens on the high line.
Yeah, and this is really going to get interesting. Trevor Keith been trapped on multiple 3-wides here. He'll drop all the way back to the 6th spot now. Oh, and the yellow flag is out further back in the pack. Looks like that is Kevin Orlando Jr. maybe trying to get back up. No, Christopher Schaefer? Christopher Schaefer getting back up to speed.
Yep. 23 around, single car on the back stretch. Take it back on a replay, find out what happened to the 23, and you can actually see the aftermath of it, so we'll back it up just a little bit more. This is coming out of turn 2. Kevin Orlando got involved.
Yeah, you see, he was the inside there of 27. It looks like Schaefer just got a little bit of the apron, had the check up, and that car was just off balance from the moment it hit the apron back onto the racetrack. Did a very admirable job trying to keep it pointed the right direction, but ultimately trying to get back on the throttle coming out of the corner. I think did him in there. As you see, he gets all sorts of wadded up. Nick Alves does a good job to stay off him as long as he can there, and 23 just... Yeah, the apron, you know, it didn't get him immediately, but that was the culprit here.
First caution here on lap number 5. Carter Lenz on the high line. Will we see anybody come on and top off with fuel? Looks like some strategy from second place on back. No.
Oh, well, Nelson's going to go down, but he looks to be about the only car in the top 10 who's going to do so. Everyone else thought about it and decided against it, so looks like he'll come down pit road here, and it looks like a couple others, Picklesheimer, Forget, Alves, a few folks who are trying to get a little off cycle here in the early going.
And this could work. I don't disagree with this call, but would have liked to have seen more cars come down pit road. You're going to see fuel only stops here as we exit pit lane 31 of Nelson. Believe that is Dylan Picklesheimer, Daniel Holloway, Parker Johnson. So about 12 cars come into the pit road this time by. It's going to bury him deep in this field, but I still like the strategy call if we go green from here on out.
Yeah, especially if we go green from here on out. I really like this call. Not only going to be on slightly fresher tires, but also I know we've had this caution. And, you know, maybe some of the folks up front are gambling on there being more than one before we hit the stage at lap 40. But if this is the only caution, I'm not sure if this is enough pace laps necessarily to get you to the end of the stage on fuel. It's a very tight margin. I'm guessing it's supposed to be about 35 laps under green. So, you know, add a couple pace laps in there, gets you close. But if it goes green the rest of the way, they might be in trouble fuel-wise trying to get to the end of this stage. These folks, though, who just pit, they're going to be in good shape and good to go the rest of the way.
We'll double back up here for the Recharge Rally 200. Carter Lynn still in the lead after starting on the pole. Justin Ritchie has gained 4 spots. Al Likens up 6. Caleb Gilbert up to the top 5. You have Trevor Keith down to Trevor Earhart. They were on the second row. They fall back a couple positions. Jerry Burns is another driver that we've mentioned having a little bit of a slump. A lot of other extracurriculars and a lot of other responsibilities, and this is a racetrack that when we're talking about this is where the season starts, he's performed well here.
Yeah, no, I would say this is the track that he does well at, but I mean, if we watch last season, most tracks were a track that he did well at. But this one in particular is one that stands out to me. There's a lot of cars who have put on a show here in recent years. Curious to see if the 9 can work his way to the front here before the stage. He's been, dare I say, a little bit more patient here the past couple weeks than I think we saw him last season, where it was very much get up front, stay up front. You know, he's been far more confident, just, you know, methodically working through the field here the past couple weeks, and that might be the approach here today, even though we're only a couple laps in.
Morning, the flagman is going to drop the green, and Carter Lenz is going to take him into turn 1 for the first restart of the day. Back underway at Las Vegas. Excellent jump out there for Lenz. 55 to the outside of Likens, who's going to get the run off of turn 2. Can Likens clear? He cannot. They'll stay side by side all the way through to the tail end.
That they will. Still side by side for second. Here comes Burns to the inside of Trevor Keith. He's already trying to get up to the 4th position here. Not quite going to get it that time around, but he's right in the middle of that battle. Caleb Gilbert in there as well. Carter Lenz, though, a good release, and that gap continues to expand a little bit as Likens and Ritchie side by side here in the corner once again.
Likens not able to complete the pass. Ritchie brushes the wall off the exit of turn 2. You saw the 13 have to dive down and lift out of the throttle. That will allow the 55 to get the run off the corner and clear.
Yeah, he's got the advantage now, just trying to get a... Yeah, microscopically clear. Doesn't take it, though. Likens able to battle his way back to the inside here. 2/10 the distance here. The Carter Lenz on board with Justin Ritchie. How close it's going to be coming off of turn 2. And you see just how much these guys are battling right now. Even in the early going, they are really going after it for second right now. This is a ton of fun.
Gonna hold on to it for the time being. Ritchie will come across the line by about 0.3 of a second. Actually, 2/300 of a second. Likens takes it back into the corner. It continues on, though. deeper in this field. There's the 9 on the outside we just mentioned. Trying to get around the 54 of Caleb Gilbert. You've got Jocelyn around all the way through this field.
And we're getting 3 wide a little further on back. That's Dakota Floyd, Brandon Pamitat, Kevin Orlando is him and the 87 almost get together. Now the Michael Reed machine going to try to make it 3 wide up the middle. The 91 can do it. Just a little too far back that time by. We jump on board here with Reed. He is up to 14th right now, and he is in an absolute hornet's nest.
Yeah, 27 just cut the nose off of the 87. So Orlando Jr. and Pamitat fighting for the same piece of real estate. They're off of turn 2. You see Dakota Floyd last time we were racing here in Racing Rev. The 57, victorious.
First one and a hard-earned one there for Dakota Floyd 2 weeks ago, the last time the Chapman Cup Series was on the track. Up 4 positions here today. He's trying to go back-to-back if he can help it, working his way into the top 10. But he's got a lot of Matt Robinson in front of him right now, and he's not alone as Trevor Earhart battling to the inside as well. That 41 starting to slip the wrong direction here.
Yeah, 41 of Earhart started up in the top 3 or top 5 to start this race off. 4th position start, back to 10th and struggling to stay there. And fall back to 11th as the 57 gets to run off the corner.
Yeah, nowhere really to take it though, as Robinson was right there running in that 9th spot. So the battle continues, as it were. Is looking up just a little further ahead. Justin Ritchie, Trevor Keith also battling. And we are on board here with the 45 of Tyler Harrison and that Recharge Rally machine. Speaking of Recharge Rally, figured this would be a good time to let you know that the Recharge Rally is back again. It's an all-inclusive 3-day road trip made for modern car enthusiasts, hosted once a year. This event takes over 50 drivers and their cars on a journey to see the best back roads, racetracks, and cities that this country has to offer. This year's rally heads south from July 30th to August 2nd and features stops in Chattanooga, Tennessee, Greensville, South Carolina, and Charlotte, North Carolina. Along the way, you'll enjoy a private track day at Atlanta Motorsports Park, a day of karting at Trackhouse Motorplex, and an entire day of scenic driving through the best roads in the region. Everything included with admissions, hotel, meals, track time, merch, and more. Spots are limited. Visit therechargerally.com to register, and the caution is out.
Problems here on the backstretch. I believe Jeremiah Nelson was involved in this. We'll go back on a replay. And no, it's the 12. He was running in the top 10.
Yeah, he was running about 8th or so, just in front of Matt Robinson.
It's in front of the whole field.
Let's see if we can figure out here what happened to the 12 of Murphy. And it looks like they just ran out of racetrack, him and Robinson coming off of turn 2. Looks like just about everyone was able to get down to a void. Take one more look at it here. I think it's a classic case of the 12 trying to work up the racetrack, the 11 trying to get his nose in there, and those two maybe not necessarily realizing how little racetrack was left coming off the corner. Oh, Kyle Stewart hard hit to the inside wall as well.
On board with Brandon Pamitat. Watch how close this is. Hello.
Whoa, man. Tell you what, at that speed, that is an incredible bit of reflex to not get caught up in that. Because it looked like he was already in it, and somehow that car stayed clean.
Everybody pours down pit road. This time around, I think it's going to be a little bit different. We could toss it up with tires. I think 4 tires could be the answer here. As bad as the handling was, we talked about it in the pre-race. A lot of drivers complaining about handling and being tight here tonight. So I think 4 tires is the call here.
Yeah, especially if you have something to say about it. I mean, you got 5 sets of tires tonight, so I don't think it's a bad time to be using one of those. A nice 20-lap stint coming up here, trying to get some stage points. Makes a lot of sense.
Grant Turner, Jeremiah Nelson, Dylan Picklesheimer, and Jacob Sirkovich. You've got Sam Taylor and Fred Pennington staying out on the racetrack. It looks like a 2-tire call, maybe fuel only. Go back and get that information for you. But Al Likens is going to beat all of these cars off of pit road.
Yeah, good stop there for the 13, getting himself some track position.
We're going to line him back up with Grant Turner on the lead. Let's see if we can get a salute from this guy. It's under caution. You can wave this time. I know he's usually listening to the broadcast, so Grant Turner going to be your leader. There's the onboard camera and matching microphones. Yes, he is very much aware that we're up here in the booth. And oh, he just did a sponsor read. Put that can back up there.
Oh, we just missed it. Darn. Oh, well.
You had to do it label out, Grant. Come on.
I think it's tough to. I think we cut away just as it happened, but
yeah.
Fun times. And tell you what, this has worked out really interestingly here for the 31 of Nelson. We know that car was fast, qualified well, almost challenged for the lead there before that first caution. Got caught back in traffic a little bit, and oh, there we go. There's the old product placement. So we're glad we finally were able to get there in the end. But for Nelson's case, you know, he's going to be on older tires, but he's got a fast car. But this is a long run to go on what's going to be essentially 10, 12 lap older tires, especially knowing that the handling on these cars is not quite the same as it has been in years past after this update.
This car is handling completely different as to what it was last year. And I think all mile and a halves are going to change. We've seen that a lot.
And I think that's honestly a good thing. If they're becoming a little harder to handle, that means you're more likely to burn up your stuff, which means, you know, you need to just bump up that skill level even more if you're going to go out there and end the day in victory lane.
Recharge Rally 200 coming back live here at Las Vegas into the restart zone. Grant Turner is going to take the green flag, and we're back underway with a big jump here for the 39.
A lot of Grants, a lot of Trevors in the field here tonight. Turner, though, going to take the lead. Nelson, Picklesheimer going to settle on in. Al Likens, first car on fresher tires, battling here for fifth with Sirkovich going down the back straightaway. We'll really see that speed difference, I think, in a couple laps here once they fully get up the speed going through these corners. That's where you'll see those fresh tires really start to work their magic as they'll slide up here in front of Sirkovich. Carter Lynn's right there with him.
Lenz, who led the first laps of this race. 13 got out ahead with a little strategy call. And I apologize, Alex, if I didn't confirm. I might have my head all over the place, but did the 13 take two? I think he did.
It looked like a fast stop. He did not have that track position initially, but it was a quick stop that got him some track position, so I believe he might have. You see there goes Linz, though, to the point as far as cars who have taken tires. They're now trying to work through some of these guys on the older stuff, battling with Sam Taylor right now, battling with Nelson right now for the third spot. And if I'm Al Likens right now, oh, a little bit of contact there for the 13. Coming off the corner, got a little bit of the wall. That's going to halt his momentum, bring Trevor Keith and Caleb Gilbert right onto the scene as well.
And the drivers that got buried deep in this field. We got down positions 10 for Trevor Earhart. He lost a little bit of ground prior to this, but he's got a traffic jam in front of him. You also have Dakota Floyd, who's back to 13. The 45 of Tyler Harrison's back to 10. The 9 of Jeremy Burns back to 11th. A lot of scatter going around here as we see 3 wide just in front of the 9.
Oh, 3 wide, maybe make it 4 wide if Sirkovich can get in there with Likens, but Gilbert slid free, so stays 3 wide there. Sirkovich in the middle with Floyd and Likens just behind this. Meanwhile, side-by-side battles in front of it. This is not a pleasant place to be on the racetrack right now. There are cars everywhere, and with some of these folks being on older tires, the speed variables are going to be a bit of a factor as well. On board here with the 30 of Pennington.
Pennington has his hands full right now. He's trying to figure out which line is going to be the momentum swing. Where can I gain some positions? Right now, he has nowhere to go.
He was boxed in there for a minute. It's a little bit better now, a little bit more room to breathe, but still, I mean, you can see just in front of him. I mean, this is quite the battle. He's got Diaz to his inside. He's trying to reel in this battle in front of him. Oh, and Robinson ran out of room, almost identical to what happened with him and Justice Murphy a few laps ago. That 11 gets a run off of 2, gets to the outside. And luckily for both of them, they're still pointed the right direction, but boy, that looked like a carbon copy of what happened with the 11 and the 12 a few laps ago.
Taking it back on a replay here. Watch this exit. We got the run on the entry of the corner and ran out of racetrack right here. Close call.
Oh, and now the yellow's out. Wreck at the back of the field. It's Robinson around with Holloway. Man, the 11 is just getting put through the ringer right now.
There was complaints that this car was tight. You saw it there just in that replay where he clipped the wall and then right back to the live shot. Tried to get another run on Pennington. The Candyman on the inside.
And into the inside wall they go for both the 11 and for the 21. We'll try to take one more look at it here. I'm not entirely sure who ran out of room first there.
I think the 11's putting a lot of wheel into it and trying to keep it off the wall. 21's already to the inside.
Yeah, and that, I mean, that's a tough place to be, especially when you're coming off the prior lap, getting put into the wall unintentionally. Same with what happened there with the 12 a few laps ago, you know, just being stuck in the circumstance of, you know, cars keep coming up to where you're at. You get a little more nervous, maybe try to give yourself a touch more space off the wall. And, you know, the moment you do that with a car to your inside, they're not expecting that kind of space, and there you go.
We're going to take a quick break here as some cars cycle down pit road. We're 28 laps in here for the Recharge Rally 200. Chapman Cup Series action for week number 5 will continue here on Vspeed right after this.
JS Racing. We're in the game.
Gentlemen, start your engine!
Hey Dad, did you know that replacing your cooling system reduces repair costs and improves energy efficiency? Plus, it operates more efficiently, which means more money in my pocket. I mean,
JS Racing. We're in the game.
Gentlemen, start your engine!
Hey Dad, did you know that replacing your cooling system reduces repair costs and improves energy efficiency? Plus, it operates more efficiently, which means more money in my pocket. I mean, your pocket. Hey Dad, did you know that a new cooling system is less noisy and has a smart thermostat you can control from your phone?
How'd you get so smart?
Must be from Mom.
When it comes to your home's most important decisions, make the smart choice and trust your local Cedar Rapids Pro partner. We're in your neighborhood, so call today.
Back here live with Carter Lenz at the point. 31 laps into 134. Half distance here. I gotta say, 30 laps in, Lenz looks like the car to beat. He has pulled away from this field. He's started on the pole. Dylan Picklesheimer for the first time up here in the top 5, up 11 positions. I haven't seen anybody challenge yet.
Yeah, we saw Nelson in the opening couple laps try to get up there, but now they're kind of off cycle. So Picklesheimer and Nelson are both on older tires than Lenz is at the moment. Keith is on some newer tires, but he's back in traffic a little bit. Field just kind of sorted out a little bit here.
And deep in this field, Matt Robinson, who just brought out, and I mean, you could argue, oh, another issue here on the front backstretch. There's a 3 and a 24, and multiple cars involved. 14 in all.
Got pile driven there. Oh, and they're still collecting each other. It is a parking lot here at the entrance to turn 3 for Jet Orlando. Looks like Kyle Stewart, Justin Ritchie. Holy moly. That's probably about as big a wreck as I've ever seen here at Las Vegas.
Grant Turner, the start of this, and then it all goes to chaos.
Well, speaking of chaos, Orlando Jr. right in the middle of that for Jet, Sam Taylor. I'm not sure exactly what happened there with some of those cars at the back of the pack who just kind of drove into this. I mean, you know, certainly at least, even if you weren't going to avoid it, you probably could have slowed down a touch. But yeah, starts here. Looks like Turner got a little bit tangled up there with Harrison.
He just got arrow loose there.
Yeah, it's either he got loose, the 45 helped him around a little bit, or both. We'll take another look at it here. And I think it was a little bit of help there from Harrison. And then everything goes careening behind him. I mean, just look at that.
We can back this up a little bit more. 39. I think he gets arrow loose, then the 45 helps him. Let's watch here.
So here they go into turn 1, and it's in the middle of 1 and 2. Maybe he got a little bit of the apron there. See the revs drop a bit. Yeah, just along for the ride at that point.
And if you're Jeremy Burns right now, you are thankful that the 39 steered it to the other way at first.
Yeah, really. I mean, that could have been a rough one there to jump on board here with the 9. See just how close it was. A little bit of contact, but that could have been a whole lot worse. It could have.
Yeah, he could have had the 3 car. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that was it's a close call. Well, since it was just outside of lap 35, they will have a very quick run to the stage checkered here, because it was outside that 5-lap window. So we'll see if anyone has anything once again for Carter Lenz. But tell you what, in the little bit of green flag stuff that we have seen so far tonight, Bradley, I mean, to your point, Carter Lenz has looked really, really sharp. And I do think it's very interesting that on these older tires, Picklesheimer and Nelson have been able to hang around. But they've also been able to kind of keep other cars with fresh tires at bay, with the exception of the 66. I find that very interesting.
Yeah, and what else is interesting is we've cycled through. We have different strategies this early in the race. That tells me the car's not handling properly. Some of these guys electing 2 tires. That tells me they're trying to loosen it up. Some of these guys staying out because they're looking for track position. It's hard to pass. So there's definitely a handling issue throughout this field, and we've seen it already guys tagging the outside wall, especially out of 2. Getting tight, pushing up the racetrack, trying to use the apron to rotate the car. There's so much happening that I don't think we've seen the end of the fireworks, and we're not even a third of the way through this race. We're 36 laps in.
Yeah, no, there is still plenty of racing to go. We'll see if anyone figures something out here from this opening stage that can carry into the back half of the race, but it's tough to get into a rhythm as a driver when every couple of laps you are back under pacing. It really just kind of pulls you out of your mindset on the racetrack, and every time there's a restart, you got to try to get back into that rhythm. And this restart's not going to be any more help, because we do know that yellow's coming at the absolute latest at lap 40 here. So, short little sprint to the checkered. It'll be Linz, and it'll be Picklesheimer on the front row. Green flags back in the air.
Well, I'm going to throw out a free t-shirt to anybody out there that can see what just changed in this broadcast. If you are the first one in the chat, I'm going to throw it out there. I make mistakes all the time, and this is the only way I could find to stop doing it. So go ahead and throw it out there if you saw what changed.
I do truly hope someone gets it.
Yeah, you saw it.
Well, I can't ruin it for the folks at home, so.
You probably saw it lap 1.
Carter Linz right now has been basically out front since lap 1. He is cruising right now, but Picklesheimer trying to apply a little bit of pressure. Got Trevor Keith maybe making a move for second. Is further on back. We've got some side-by-side Nelson and Harrison.
Harrison on that high line, 45, looking 3 wide here. 54 in the middle. Caleb Gilbert not able to stick his nose in there, but he will get a run through the tri-oval. Looking 3 wide now. Here comes Likens. Wow, that was tight there with the 41 of Trevor Earhart.
Oh, and Likens is in the fence, trying to keep this thing
run,
rolling
though.
right to the bumper of Gilbert. He is right there as they get on to lap 40 here. One more time around to settle it here for the opening stage from Las Vegas. Linz has broken away, but Keith Picklesheimer battling for second. Great battle here with Likens and Harrison for 7th. Gilbert, Nelson just in front of him. A lot of points up for grab here in the 3 and 4. 3 wide for second.
Trevor
Wow,
Keith in
look
the
at
middle. Picklesheimer on older tires.
Well, that should have been the stage. There it is. The yellow is out. A little bit of extracurriculars after the yellow came out there between Picklesheimer and Keith, but Carter Linz, dominant opening stage. How about it for the 66, man? He looks fast tonight.
Looks like the car to beat so far. It's Carter Linz will get stage win. Week number 5 with Picklesheimer, Keith, Floyd, a few hundredths of a second. These guys racing. You go back to Gilbert, Nelson, Likens, Harrison, Earhart, and Michael Call in the 5, getting a top 10.
Good rebound there for Call after a slow stop at lap 19. He had a 20-second stop in the box, I think, to repair a little bit of damage. So a good bounce back for the 5 here to get back into some stage points.
Sit down, Marks. Got it. Wait. Mike Johnston? Who was first here? I think sit down, Mark's got it.
Stevenson wanted nothing to do with.
I heard something in the background there, buddy. What's going on?
Well, I was pulling up the YouTube chat on my own, but I forgot I had the sound on, and I also clicked on a race that's also happening tonight on Vspeed that's not ours.
Oh. Well, there's always something going on if you would like to tune in and quit watching me make mistakes. Free
it
t-shirt
was
to
just,
sit down, Marks. I got to write that down.
Yeah, that was, you are correct, and to your point, I did not notice it lap 1, but I did notice it at the second cycle of pit stops. But I figured we would talk about it at the stage break, so you beat me to it.
Well, if you could kindly give me a size there in the Discord or even in the chat if you're comfortable with that. This is the only way I know to stop making these mistakes. We'll get that out there to you. If you like Vspeed, because you're going to have a t-shirt.
Tell you what, they are some pretty quality shirts, I must say. Not to be shilling our own product, but I wear it weekly.
Your bias is showing.
Oh yeah, no, it's pretty fire. It's a good time.
Yeah, get with me. We'll try to get that out there too. And you know what? We're working on some things here in the background to all of you that help support us and put on these shows and justify our existence, because let's be honest, this is a niche market. There's very, very few people that are doing this, and I would love to be able to provide this at the very least monthly and put on these shows. And I think giving back is really the flip side of things. You guys have given us a platform to stand on, and over 3,000 of you tune in weekly. However, I am going to plug one more time shamelessly that 66% of you, that metric has not changed, are still not subscribed to the channel. I'm not saying that it's Racing Rev, because I'm pretty certain that it's not. But
yeah,
there
I'm about to say, if there's
lot.
any league that I'd be pretty willing to bet isn't, it's probably this one. However, you never know. Give the old subscribe button a check. Make sure you've clicked it already. It'll say subscribed. If you haven't, it'll just say subscribe, and it'll be a big red button as opposed to grayed out.
Well, and I know that we have subscriber-only chat, so everybody that's in here talking right now is definitely subscribed to the channel. It's as simple as clicking the button, and you can talk. So that's how we filter out the bots. That's the reason for it. Anybody that's questioned it, we're just trying to gain subscribers. No, we just don't want to be solicited every single day. We have moderators in here that get to it, after the fact, but we can't always protect the chat during the live event. So that's the reason for it. Now you guys know, and enjoy the free t-shirt. Sit down, Marks. Thank you for coming in here and watching every single week. And Ruth Ann, everybody from the clan over there for the 9 team, and Jeremy Burns, as we get back live in racing. Parker Johnston, 5.3 in the box. Looks like a fuel-only stop. Can he hold off Carter Lenz for at least a lap led under green? It'll be tough.
Here we go. Down the back straightaway. Johnston looks in good shape through 1 and 2. Carter Lenz, though, already on the attack into 3 and 4. He's got Picklesheimer right there with him. And, man, the 66 just carries so much momentum out of the corner right now. He's getting a good run down the front straightaway, and he might be trying to make an attack here in the 1.
That was impressive, though, by the 48. I know we only had a few laps there on the tires, but for Johnston to hold off the 66 and get a lap led under green up to speed. We know it's inevitable here, Alex, that the 66 will get back up here, but another lap we're going to watch for the 48.
Yeah, he's rolling right now. He's carrying a good bit of speed. You see down to the apron once again, goes to 48. Lenz has been pretty comfortable, running about a lane off the bottom. As you see here, there's Trevor Keith, Dakota Floyd. Good battle going for 5th. Looks like the 57 is going to have that spot for now.
And they get things sorted out as the 15 falls back a couple positions, back to 7th. Brandon Pimitat loses 4th position. 57 jumps of speed, and that's Christopher Schaefer again involved.
The 23 trying to get back up the speed here. think that's the second
And the
time
11.
tonight. Boy, it's not been the second time for him. That would be the fourth time for Robinson if that's the case. Schaefer here, bottom lane.
It's the 8 of Richardson to the outside.
Oh, looks exactly like the Robinson and Murphy incident from back on lap 8. Or sorry, lap 19. Looked identical to that. There's been a couple of those tonight where someone gets a good run through 1 and 2, goes to the outside coming off turn 2, and I wonder if the iRacing spotter has a bit of a blind spot there coming out of turn 2, because he gets alongside and Jen just runs out of room here. I don't know. That's interesting.
It was a good save. Not a lot of cars involved in that, just a couple. But if you're Christopher Schaefer, that's number 2 of the night. First caution of the evening came out. The 23 raceepi.com of Christopher Schaefer. New car is going to come down pit road. Kevin Orlando is going to lead him in. Stage 1 going to Carter Lynn. 6 cautions, 3 lead changes.
Boy, Nick Alves' car, that car has seen better days. He got caught up in that big one just before the end of the stage break, and that might be a bit of a terminal one there, Bradley.
Yeah, Nick Alves definitely done for the day. We don't have a camera with Nick Alves anymore, but we had a moment there we could have brought him up. We'll get you sorted out there. Sit down, Marks, and do our best. We're not going to dox you, I promise. Have you ever been doxed before, Alex? I have.
Doing this? No.
We've all been on Call of Duty before.
Historically speaking, yes. Luckily, that was several apartments ago. So
I'm just glad that my house isn't connected to Google. My lights would be flickering on and off.
It'll be
bad
2
enough of
a.m.
this.
Yeah, it's gonna be like The Ring, you know. People are just gonna start crawling out the TV.
Hey, I mean, that doesn't sound so bad, right?
It could be worse, honestly. Yeah. You know, it's not all bad.
Friends.
Yeah. Being like, oh, hey, you're here to hang out.
Now, watching here with Parker Johnson, I'm impressed. And this is the first time we've seen a challenge. That watching that lane change and the battle, this is a completely different scenario for the 48. He's got fuel only on the last stop. Carter Lynn's in the dirty air. 66 has struggled to get around. Dylan Picklesheimer has been challenging for that second spot. I think this shakes up the race a little bit and gives other drivers an opportunity, because if Lenz gets back to that clean air, we know he can run away with it.
Yeah, 100%. I think that would be the case. But I think it's also very interesting. I think a lot of the cars in the top 10 here are realizing as well, if you keep the 66 out of clean air, you've got yourselves as good a chance as anybody to go up there and make something happen. I think what we're seeing right now with the 48 and the 66. Because Lynn's has, I mean, you can tell he's got a lot of speed still, even back in the dirty air, but he has not been able to set sail the way he was in the clean air earlier on. So full ups to the 48 here. He has looked sharp since the stage break. Let's see if we can do it again here on this restart as the pace car peels away.
That's the official link to the Vspeed Discord for any of you that are not a part of it. As the green flag comes back out, Parker Johnson has the 66 to the outside into 1 and 2. Preferred line here for Carter Lenz to take back the lead.
Yeah, he's trying to work it. Picklesheimer right to the back bumper of the 48, getting him a little out of sorts. It's going to be a drag race down the back. Looks like Lenz has got it, though, in the 3.
And the 57 of Dakota Floyd looking to go back-to-back after 2 weeks ago on the victory. 57 up to second.
Yeah, and he is rolling right now on the outside. He's feeling that momentum from the win 2 weeks ago. Up to the second place now, trying to get around Parker Johnson for that spot. Think he's got it. Lynn's is first, Floyd is second, maybe not for long as the 57 just drives to the outside fender of the 66. Dakota Floyd on a mission right now, trying to get up there and challenge for the lead.
In the background, Parker Johnson holds on to third. It's a battle for fourth. Brandon Pamitat got around Dylan Picklesheimer. Picklesheimer on the bottom with Carter Lins, or Al Likens rather, on the outside. Likens holds it up there.
Yeah, I'm about to say, going into 3. I tell you what, no one has been more confident, I think, running that high lane than the 13 has tonight. I feel like every time we've watched Al Likens, he has been up near the wall. To varying levels of success. Sometimes he's made some big moves. Other times he's ended up getting a piece of that safer barrier coming off of turn 2. Still has a lot of speed, though, in that 13. Currently running in that 6th spot. Here's on board with Trevor Keith. Boy, he seems like he's working that thing at the moment.
A lot of work going into that 15 car, but running in the 7th position, trying to get around Caleb Gilbert. Gilbert gets by on the inside of turn 4. A lot of momentum there through the tri-oval.
Yeah, he is really, I feel like he is really seesawing that wheel a good bit, trying to make sure he's getting everything out of it right now. Normally when we jump on board with the 15, it's usually a very calm and collected. This time it is laser focused and going to work right now.
He had a run there out of turn 4. This is in the top 10. 7th position up for grabs. Jeremy Burns back here battling with the 10. That's Kyle Stewart, who was involved in an incident at the beginning of this race, in the first 30 laps or so. But the 10 car going to go by on the outside. Maybe a little bit of damage on the 9, but the 10 definitely picked up damage in that first incident. He's going to get to the outside.
Yeah, battle going here between the 9 and the 10. Both of them chasing Kyle Diaz right now as they make their way into turn 1. And this is what happens when you get kind of caught in the middle of the pack here at Vegas. It's just anytime you feel like you're starting to make some forward progress, you see how much this field is starting to spread apart. And even when you get a spot, you know, you're losing, I mean, just tenths upon tenths of seconds, lap after lap, just because you're not getting that clean air that the leaders are getting. So even though they're battling for position right now, you see 2.5 seconds back, and that's only just going to continue to increase, especially as they run side by side. There's not a whole lot of room to operate back here in the pack. You just got to keep picking them off one by one and start dragging your way to some clean air.
Parker Johnston just jumped up in front of Dylan Picklesheimer. Picklesheimer had the run coming off of turn 4, and I'm still more and more impressed as it goes back on offense for second position. This 48 car, I think it's got some speed.
Boy, does it. Yeah, he has been putting up a fight here with Dakota Floyd. It's Picklesheimer, Caleb Gilbert settle in behind on board here with the 48 of Parker Johnston. Oh, he's got Picklesheimer to the outside here. Door to door they go. Tensed up a little bit just for a moment because I know that was how we've run into some issues already today with cars making those moves to the outside off of 2. Picklesheimer trying to make it work, just hasn't quite completed it yet. Now he will. So he'll take over the 3rd spot for now. And, you know, right now if you're the 48, it's just about, you know, maintaining as much track position as you can. You know you're off cycle from the rest of the field, but trying to save some tires for later in the race, have that track position, and as long as you end up coming down pit road eventually in a higher place than where you started, it was a worthwhile endeavor.
And again, back to the handling of this car, Alex, we watched drivers take those gambles several times. It wasn't just the 48. There was the 39 who got the lead there briefly. Of course, problems later on in that run. Maintaining, I think Parker Johnston's done the best of the cars that have stayed out and tried to pull this strategy.
At least over an extended run here. The other one who I will give some credit to here, that 33 of Picklesheimer did flip some track position, and he's been able to maintain it as well. So the two of them doing a really good job, although Picklesheimer, of course, now on the same strategy as, I believe, the leaders. So you take a look here a little further back. That's Jacob Sirkovich, Kyle Diaz battling for the 15th position on the racetrack. You got Ben Lafter and Kyle Stewart battling side by side just behind them. Jeremy Burns has slipped away from this pack just a little bit. He's now up into the 12th position as this battle continues on.
The 3 wide there with Diaz in the middle. For a moment there, the 26 gets the run. He will clear the 88 of Sirkovich. Ben Lafter on board.
On board here with the 64. Working to the outside of Sirkovich right now. Looks like he's going to complete that pass. Pulls right up to the back bumper of Diaz before driving in middle lane. He goes lane higher than the 26. He might be able to get a fender out there. Not quite yet, but was certainly going for it. He's making up a little bit of ground here, a little bit of time.
It's back and forth here for the top 5. Different names all the way through this field. Parker Johnston has fallen back to 5th. Not sure if that's plateaued yet on this run, but watching Brandon Pamitat fall back a position as the 41 of Trevor Earhart goes to work. Great rebound.
Yeah, good battle here. And the 41, that car finally starting to come to life a little bit after it was really falling the wrong direction in the opening stage. He's battling here to the inside of Johnson for the 5th spot. 41 down low, 48 up high. This battle's also allowing Brandon Pamitat to get into the mix, but these 4 or 5 cars who have slipped away here past the 48 and are starting to work their way forward, they are starting to reel in Carter Lynch just a little bit. Dakota Floyd was about 9/10ths back when he cleared the 48. He's cut that down to about 5/6 or so. So no crazy gains, but he is starting to reel in the 66 just a little bit here. And Picklesheimer and Gilbert starting to do the same here to the back bumper of the 57.
That's a matter of who's saving the tires the best as we approach the halfway mark in this race. We hope you're enjoying tonight's coverage, but we're going to ask you to find those remote controls, and we're going to try something a little bit different. This week, we're going to do a little bit of maxed out, so turn up those hearing aids and find that volume knob. It's Vspeed maxed out. Vspeed maxed out here tonight, and the first time we've brought that live here on Vspeed. Appreciate everybody coming out here as we watch the lead dwindle down to just 0.4 of a second. Dakota Floyd catching up to Carter Lenz down the backstretch.
Yeah, he's starting to reel him in. It's only been about, say, a couple hundredths a lap or so, but it's starting to add up in a big way. As he's starting to get to a point where, you know, one slight misturn here could really put the 66 in jeopardy. The gap that time, only 1/10 of a second. Lynn's a little bit quicker trying to reestablish that gap, but tell you what, don't look now, but Trevor Earhart might be running the fastest laps of anybody in the field at the moment in that 4th spot. He is right to the back bumper right now of Caleb Gilbert. That 41, I don't know what he's done differently, or he's just decided that he's going to go for it. I think he's got some really good long run speed in that car tonight, because during the short runs of how that choppy first stage went, that car just kept slipping back. But now that we've put some laps together green, he is just rolling to the front right now.
Sam Taylor in the 3 cars. We watch Caleb Gilbert, a little bit lower exit to the corner, and that's going to allow the 41 of Earhart to follow through. Got right up on the back end. Let's see the run off of 4.
We'll see if that Camry's got something under the hood here to make this pass going into turn 1. Not quite going this time by. Looks like Gilbert was able to get just enough separation, but Earhart once again on the chase. But Dakota Floyd has cut that gap down now to about 1/3 of a second to the lead. These guys are all starting to accordion together. And if you're Carter Lenz, that's the last thing you want to see is 2nd, 3rd, and 4th running faster lap times than you are right now. And that's because they're coming down pit road. Everybody not named Trevor Earhart in the top 4 stopping here for green flag pit stops on lap 76.
Based off these numbers, we will have one more stop in this race. But right now, Carter Lenz leading them in.
Yeah, a lot of the cars in the top 10 taking advantage of this. Big stop here. Don't want to cost yourself any time. Little slide into the box there for the 66, but well done. Didn't overshoot anything. We take a sky cam here, seeing this race off of pit road. 57 down and away. Let's see that gap to the 66. Oh, he's actually going to, not quite beat him off pit road. It was certainly close, though, as they're going to race their way back up the speed. As close together now as they were entering pit road. Oh, man. Well executed from the 66 and the 57. Trevor Earhart and company now down pit road. Same with Nelson, Call, and Burns. We'll see if the 41 is able to get the advantage on these guys, pitting a lap later. He will have one lap fresher tires, which marginal in the grand scheme of things, but hey, you take a tire advantage wherever you can get it. As now Fred Pennington cycles to the front. You see this is just behind them, the 66 and the 57. That's the battle for the lead when everything cycles through. Looks like Trevor Earhart maybe lost a few tenths there to Caleb Gilbert by coming down the lap later. We'll see if the slightly fresher tires is able to reel him back in.
Kevin Orlando coming down pit road now from around the 4th position. Grant Turner stays out on the racetrack. The car down pit road and missed the stall.
That is, that's a killer.
Back out on the racetrack for Ben Lapter.
Overshooting your box under green flag conditions might only be a couple seconds to get back into the box, but that's going to cost you a lot of track position when the rest of the field's going around at speed.
And there's Fred Pennington coming down now for service on the number 30. And I don't think that's going to help him change the rear tire, Fred.
Trying to help spin it off. Tell you what, though, one thing that has worked out nicely here for Pennington, he's run a couple laps longer than the rest of these guys, so a couple lap fresher tires, a couple more laps of fuel if things break his way. You know, that's the beauty of a green flag stop is you start seeing a lot of different strategies start to fan out in real time. So you see Schaefer and Turner finally going to bring it down pit road here. And with that, that's just about everybody. Is Simpson also down pit road, I believe, now? Or coming down pit road this time. So Carter Lynn's going to re-inherit the lead here going on to lap 83. And that gap, half a second only, back to Dakota Floyd.
Floyd just navigating that traffic a little bit different. When we cycle through these pit stops, you're going to have some drivers that are a little bit behind the pace or staying out a little bit longer. They all came down, and the top four all pit together. And one thing that maybe you didn't notice, I'm not giving away another t-shirt. So, Alex, I'm sorry, but I'm going to ask you if you noticed something else that's not on the racetrack here tonight.
Right now, the green flag is the yellow is out on the racetrack. Trying to figure out what it's for. I'm not actually seeing it. Oh, that doesn't look great if you're Simpson.
Looking back here to see if I know what's happened.
We didn't get a, hopefully we didn't get the infamous debris caution.
You know, it's coming back on the racetrack here. I don't think he was involved in this.
Oh.
There it is.
Sam Taylor, sideways at the entrance to pit road.
Back it up one more time. I believe the 3 car was trying to come down for service. And this is after the cycle of green flag pit stops, so that's going to shake it up again.
Yeah, and that's really tough for the folks who just pit. I don't know if they had enough time to get their lap back. Oh, man.
Most of the field, I think, did get that opportunity. And we'll see pretty much everybody stay out here, I believe. Tina Bennett's showing pit stop. A few cars. There's Michael Reed, the 64 Ben Laughter, 30 of Pennington, 27 of Orlando. A lot of cars that have damage from previous incidents.
Yeah, pretty good time to come down pit road, just try to get some stuff repaired, especially a lot of those folks are people who pit later in the cycle. So you're already toward the back of the field anyway. Perfect time to come down pit road. You're not losing any track position. You have no wear on your tires. Just get into the box, do what you need to do to get your car back in fighting shape here for the last 50 laps or so. And that way, when this thing goes green again, you've given yourself the best chance possible to go out there and retrieve a strong finish.
An official announcement here for the All-Star race in the Chapman Environmental Services Cup Series. All-Star Race 2026, and these drivers in the main event. The criteria to make that event. With playoff driver from Season 5, you had to have won a race in Season 5, win a race in Season 6 prior to the All-Star race. You could win a random name draw the morning of the All-Star race, finishing a transfer spot in the All-Star Open. So there you go for the new format. It will feature 24 cars. The pre-lock-in cars will run the open qualifying session that will be single car qualifying. Be a random starting grid. And it will be 30 laps long. We'll take the top 4 to the main event, the open event. Main event being 100 laps, so looking forward to that. First place, $100. Have I ever won here at Racing Rev? I don't think I have.
I know for sure I have not, but that's also because I would not do well. These guys are incredible at what they do. Also, that All-Star race, in case anyone is wondering, that one is coming up in a couple months' time. May 20th is the date for that one. You know, same day of the week, same place to find the show, right here on Vspeed. That'll be a ton of fun. Great way to kind of celebrate the middle of the season.
I'm going to revert back before we go back green. Did you see what was different? Did you see it?
I'll be honest, no, because I immediately got distracted by the caution.
All right. I'm just going to let it go at that. I'm not giving anything else out for free, Alex. I'm not doing it.
That's a good way to stay accountable on what we're doing, right?
Lenz, Dakota Floyd, Caleb Gilbert, the top three. Trevor Earhart, Jeremiah Nelson, Michael Call, Dylan Picklesheimer, Jeremy Burns, Parker Johnson, and Tyler Harrison, the top 10. Back underway after our 7th caution of the night with Carter Lenz out to a commanding jump.
Yeah, 66 got some clean air. Here comes Dakota Floyd settling in the second. Earhart and Gilbert going to go side by side here for third. Trevor Earhart is the one that I'm keeping my eye on here if we get a longer run. He had some really good long run speed. He's right back into the pack here with this restart. And he is on 2 lap fresher tires than Dakota Floyd and Carter Lenz. Doesn't sound like a lot, but every little bit of speed helps, especially on a long run where lap after lap, even if you're, just 100th faster, that starts to add up over time.
Somebody in the chat got the answer right.
There you go.
53 Rob Rader is not on the racetrack here tonight. I love having trivia here in the chat. Thanks for participating, everyone. Battle for the lead there briefly. Floyd got right up on the back bumper of Lenz. I think he's kind of flip-flop. He was very conservative in the first half of this race. He's going for the top spot now.
Yeah, Floyd's trying to reel him in. I think he knows if he can get that clean air, he might be able to get away from the 66, similar to what Lenz had been doing to folks before this. So it's that fight for the top spot and the clean air that comes with it. Lenz has got the spot right now. Floyd in second. Earhart has wrangled third away from Caleb Gilbert. And I tell you what, these top 4 have kind of been the top 4 for the majority of the night. Michael Call, highest he's run right now, is in that 5th spot. Good little battle going here between a couple of folks we were talking about tonight. That's the 9 of Jeremy Burns and the 48 of Parker Johnson in a good battle for 8th.
And with this caution, I think there was damage on Jeremy Burns. Remember, he was outside the top 15 earlier in this race. Now it seems like that car's back to 100% and starting to battle up here in the top 10.
Yeah, he did have a little bit of contact off that Grant Turner incident that led to the big wreck at the entrance of turn 3 just before the stage. He definitely didn't get the most of it, but he had a bit of it, which I think may have set him back just a little bit. But now back toward the front he goes, as now this is a battle just outside, or for the last spot in the top 10. Tyler Harrison trying to hold off that top 10 spot over Al Likens and Trevor Keith right now. Both of those guys hungry to get up there. Brandon Pamitat in line there as well. A lot of cars who we've seen in the top 10 tonight who are not currently there trying to work their way into that spot.
And I'll put my glasses on just to report this correctly, but it's up 13 positions for Dakota Floyd. Biggest mover of the race is actually this guy right here. 77. Grant Thorpe. Up 19 positions.
That's a mean-looking Dollar General machine right now. That's a good look for that 77.
Started back in 33rd, led 1 lap there during our green flag pit stop cycle. And a different paint scheme. Kind of reminds me of the Nesquik machine back in the day.
Yeah, very much feels inspired by, but it also feels like, if you remember the Car of Tomorrow commercial, where they had all like the energy lines coming off them, like they were like monsters battling each other on the racetrack.
Yes.
Feels very like that
Didn't
as well.
they put underglow under those cars?
Yeah, they did.
As well?
And
yeah.
It was one of the only times it made sense. Yeah.
We need that. Why do we not have underglow iRacing? Come on.
Well, speaking of things that are just pretty cool, shout out in the chat once again. Tia, appreciate the super. And thank you to each and every race that you've been a part of and helping support the league and us and everything that's going on. It's really cool.
And with that, we're going to go 99% of a lap here around Las Vegas. There you go. Oh.
Well, that's him and Ben laughing. There he is.
There we go. Tyler Harrison. Running 11th right now. You know what? I'm going to go an additional lap. And if you have a chance, check out Recharge Rally. Link in the description. I had the read. I lost the read.
Yeah, I've got
Alex Gagnon.
Yeah.
He's on point every week.
The Recharge Rally, folks, this is the place to be. It's an all-inclusive 3-day road trip made for modern car enthusiasts. Hosted once a year, this event takes over 50 drivers and their cars on a journey to see the best backroads racetracks and cities in the country. This year's rally is from July 30th to August 2nd and features stops at Chattanooga, Tennessee, Greensville, South Carolina, and Charlotte, North Carolina. Along the way, you'll enjoy a private track day at the Atlanta Motorsports Complex, a day of karting at the Trackhouse Motorplex, and an entire day of scenic driving through the best roads in the region. Everything is included with admission, hotels, meals, track time, merch, and more, but spots are limited, so visit therechargerally.com to register. That is TheRechargerally.com.
Didn't expect you to spell it out for me. I'm glad you did, though, because I don't know where I am right now. Tyler Harrison back in 11th. He was up in the top 10 to start this race off. So before Tia got here, which I believe she responded better late than never, he was up in the top 10. So now that you're here, I think you... Tia, 10th super on the stream, but I think maybe just look away from the screen. He was doing better. I don't know if there's some kind of... No, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that.
Also, to answer the question from earlier, Matt Robinson has somehow worked his way back into a top 15 running position, despite that 11 car going
got
around.
his hands full.
He's been around on 3 or 4 different occasions, and boy, is he in a hornet's nest right now, battling with Jacob Sirkovich. Got Holloway just in front of him, and he's not the only one. I think that's Trevor Keith right there as well. Yeah, Matt Robinson, where he's running right now is not indicative of the speed in that race car. He has been all over the place, just in the wall, off of other cars, working back, repairing damage. The 11's fast. It's just a matter of keeping it clean. That's been the hard part tonight.
Keeping it clean here at Las Vegas here has been a challenge. And race recap on the top of your screen. 7 cautions, 9 lead changes. Carter Lynn's got stage number 1. There was a caution just prior to that stage break. These drivers in sort of a shootout format there as you're watching a battle between the 91 and the 15 for 14th spot.
Also, don't look now, but we've got ourselves a battle for the lead. Trevor Earhart and that long run speed that the 41's got, he has caught Carter Lynn's. And this is, if this run keeps going, if they have to do like another thing of green flag pit stops, don't be shocked if you see the 41 find the opportunity here to try to get around Carter Lynn's. This car on the long run has been dialed in tonight, and it's shocking how much he struggled in that opening stage versus how much speed there is now.
The only part of that is we don't have a lot of laps left to go in this race. So if I'm Carter Lynn's, I'm going to push this car as far as it will go on this stint. I'm not going to pit early. I'm not going to try to undercut. The 41 is fast on long run. So I think I just push this car and get as few laps on the tires for the end.
Yeah, I'm about to say, honestly, if you're Carter Lynn's, you try to maybe have the 41 pit in front of you if you can help it. Run this thing as far as it can go, and then have that short sprint to the end, because he has short run speed like nobody's business.
There's somebody else here, too. 31 is Jeremiah Nelson back into the picture in the top 5.
It's been a bit of a quiet night for him. You know, he qualified really, really well. Got a little off cycle by choice here at the start of this race, and then we really just haven't talked about him a ton. But he is right back into the mix now in the closing 30 laps here. Up the fourth, maybe looking for third if he can get around Dakota Floyd here in a moment. Just taking the peek to the inside in 1 and 2.
And I think Floyd was another one of those cars that was showing long run promise, but pushed the car hard to try to get around Lenz. Got in that dirty air, maybe used up the tires, which is why you're seeing this 57 come down pit road this time by.
And that is going to kick off the final window of stops here. This will probably be tires and fuel here for the 57. Same with Picklesheimer as he's down in the way, 14.3. Good stop for him. Here comes Kyle Stewart. Yeah, final round of pit stops are on at this point. Don't want to mess anything up here because you're not going to have another chance to rectify that issue.
And 66, I would assume, is going to come down as well, all the way to the bottom of the racetrack, and Trevor Earhart will take the lead.
And Carter Lenz.
That worries me.
Yeah, I think he got it slowed down in time. Carried a lot of momentum in, though.
What I'm worried about now is the 41 went a lap longer. Already had the advantage on long tires. I don't know. This could be the window. If I'm Trevor Earhart, I'm pitting it in the next 2 laps. I'll lead a couple, and then I'm coming down.
Yeah, it's tough because, yeah, here he comes down pit road now. He had a slight advantage, but you don't want to spend too many laps out there on old tires when your competition's on new tires because you just don't have enough time to undo that damage. So one lap later, Trevor Earhart makes his stop. Jeremiah Nelson to the point now. Got to imagine the 31's going to have to think about making the stop here soon as well.
On the box here for the 41. Don't miss the stall. Nice slide in there. Perfect execution. And the 41 of Trevor Earhart will have 4 tires going on and a full tank of Sunoco race fuel. It's Jeremiah Nelson with the lead. Michael Reed in second with his hands full of Al Likens and Tyler Harrison.
I don't know if they went. I think that might have been a 2-tire call for both Earhart and Burns. They were about 10 seconds in the box, trying to maybe get some track position here away from the 66. Oh boy.
And confirmed 10.7 in the box. Dakota Floyd also taking 2 tires, got way out ahead. 57 would net race the lead. Carter Lenz buried about 3 cars behind.
Now there's Carter Lenz back there. He's got some work to do. Is now Nelson going to bring it down to the box with about 25 to go. Going to be a short sprint to the finish here for the 31. The good news for him, he can kind of go all out here. Doesn't have to worry about saving much of anything because this is not a super long run. Michael Reed going to inherit the lead. Still about over 10 cars that have not come down pit road yet.
25 to go, crossing the stripe. Battle for the lead here.
Every lap, a couple more of them peel down pit road to make their stop. About 7-8 cars still yet to make their stop.
Here comes
now
Reed.
Michael Reed gonna make that one. Every lap, another 1 or 2 ticks away. We get cycling closer and closer to who truly is going to have the lead in this one. Let's take a look here. There's Christopher Schaefer, who's going to inherit the lead whenever the 45 pits, unless they pit on the same lap.
39 of Grant Turner stays out as well. Justice Murphy, Brandon Richardson. Richardson down pit road, so 4 cars left on the racetrack to cycle through the final pit stops of this race. Here comes the 45.
Got to imagine these guys are just thinking about trying to run this thing dry, see if they could luck into a caution, because we had a caution just after green flag stops last time around. But here comes Justice Murphy as well. Just leaves Christopher Schaefer, I believe, on the racetrack at this point, who has not come down pit road. Or maybe him and Grant Turner. These cars continue to kind of get their lap back here. The 23 going to stay out, get that lap led. Dakota Floyd, Trevor Earhart is where the battle for the current lead will be when this all cycles out. And they're not alone, as Caleb Gilbert and Jeremy Burns is there as well. Carter Linz on the 4 tires compared to 2, but you see there is a lot of racetrack between him and the top 4.
Yeah. Top 4 all on 2 tires. Once this all cycles through, Schaefer will come down, Turner will have to come down. They're not going to make it to the end of this race. So, net race lead, the battle for the top spot right here on your screen. 57, 41, 54, 9. Then you have the 66 in the background off of turn 2. He's about 1.3 seconds back from Jeremy Burns, which will be the top 5.
With Schaefer and Turner now down pit road. That is going to cycle everybody through, or no. Sorry,
No.
I thought they were coming down pit road. They just hadn't populated anything. Oh, Grant Turner did stop. Schaefer had not. Okay, that's where I got thrown off. So the 39 has made his stop. So now only Christopher Schaefer, the last car here, yet to come down pit road. Just running this thing to see if there's a potential yellow that could fall into his lap at this point. So Dakota Floyd, I mean, he's in great spot here to go back-to-back after winning 2 weeks ago. Trevor Earhart, though, we know that car just gets faster as the day's been going on. That is not the car I'd want to have right behind me right now with just under 20 laps to go.
Yeah, I like where Trevor Earhart is right now. Giving a lot of speed, a lot of promise. Gets a good run here into 3 and 4.
Oh, the caution's out.
That's going to throw everything out the window.
Just as Schaefer was coming down pit road, the yellow comes out as Kyle Stewart is planted in the backstretch wall.
Orange Speed teammates having problems here.
Oh, boy, yeah.
Down on the back bumper, hard impact to the outside wall.
Yeah, we're going to have to back that one up a little bit, see how that started. I can't tell if the 91 and the 10 made contact initially, or if the 10 got a piece of the apron and then just had no room to shimmy up the track because the 91 was there.
Yeah, 10 hit the apron.
Oh, boy. Yeah, so Reed hits the wall, and then the 10 goes around with everyone behind him. Ben Laughter a part of that as well. And for the folks who made the 2-tire call, they are going to be in some dire straits. They're actually coming down pit road. The whole field is actually. They're trying to throw on some fresh tires here. I guess they feel they've used up enough where if they stay down the old tires, they have no chance of winning this thing. So basically everyone not named Dakota Floyd just hit pit road. And if you're the 57, that is a terrifying realization.
Al Likens did stay out, but it's Tyler Harrison who's going to stay out as well. He had just come down about 5 laps ago, so he's going to get up to the 3rd position. Carter Linz leading him in. This might bail out the 66. '41 gets out ahead. Maybe left side tires for the 41 this time.
Well, he already had that track position, but Caleb Gilbert got the run off here. Good stuff from the 54. Perfectly executed stop.
Right side's only again for the 41 and 54.
Same with the 9 as well. And
Watch
the 66 this time.
Watch that green cone. This is the battle off of pit road.
Wow. Yeah, just perfect execution there from the 54 team. Gets them some track position just when it matters the most here. And he'll be the first car on freshest tires, but not everyone came down pit road there, so there'll be a few cars in the back a bit.
There was another battle here on the exit. We watched that battle just a moment ago. Watch the 54 and the 41 again, but watch this one as well between the 9 and the 66.
It didn't get him by much.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, indeed. Sounds like they've added an extra lap to the caution here. It looks like a lot of folks need a wave around.
We're gonna get it sorted out here. Chapman Cup Series action at Las Vegas in the closing laps. Under 20 to go in the Recharge Rally 200. Back with more right after this.
JS Racing. We're in the game.
Gentlemen, start your engine!
Hey Dad, did you know that replacing your cooling system reduces repair costs and improves energy efficiency? Plus, it operates more efficiently, which means more money in my pocket. I mean, your pocket. Hey Dad, did you know that a new cooling system is less noisy and has a smart thermostat you can control from your phone?
How'd you get so smart?
Must be from Mom.
When it comes to your home's most important decisions, make the smart choice and trust your local Cedar Rapids Pro partner. We're in your neighborhood, so call today.
JS Racing. We're in the game.
Back here live at Las Vegas, where the Chapman Cup Series has been putting on a fantastic show. 122 laps into this. We're going to have about 10 to go. 12 to go when we take the green flag. Dakota Floyd on the top spot. Right side tires for the 57. The last stop, but that was 16 laps ago. I like it. Staying out on the racetrack as well, but it's Tyler Harrison up in third position. Caleb Gilbert, Trevor Earhart, the top five. This is about to get good as we're single file here. Wave arounds up. I'm not really sure what happened here, Alex.
I'll be honest, I've been trying to figure it out. I also don't entirely know. They've been trying to get a lot of the field kind of cycled and sorted. They've tacked on 2 laps of pacing at this point, trying to get this thing figured out. Now the pace car's peeled off, so I guess we're letting this thing loose single file. And yeah, all right, green flag's back in the air, so here we go. Dakota Floyd's got the top spot right now, and now the yellow's back out. That didn't take very long at all. I think something must be mega busted here in iRacing that they're trying to get figured out. I don't think anyone spun. Oh yeah, maybe that was it. I just saw they cleared like 8 black flags in the session.
Yeah, I think the single file restart was maybe a product of that. Something not quite right here, and Dakota Floyd being asked to pass the pace car, so it's continuing.
Well, it would not be a race in Vegas if we didn't have something weird happen, I guess. I would not have bet on this one, though. That's for sure.
Yes, we're going to all pass the pace car. This one might go down as an asterisk for Dakota Floyd if he just keeps passing the pace car and wins the race back-to-back.
That would be impressive, to say the least, if that's the way this thing ended. Luckily, you know, we still have about 10 laps or so next time around, so hopefully they get this thing restarted with enough time that we get a little race to the finish. But yeah, I don't know what's going on. iRacing must be bugging something crazy at the moment.
Well, let's just go on board. Telemetry-wise, I would be saving my tires, just saying.
Yeah, he seems to be really going after it right now, getting caught back up to the pace car, but I don't know. At this point, if you're already cycling back around, is there a big hurry to get back up there?
No, I think right now you just save as much as you can, but up to 171 miles per hour for Dakota Floyd.
Well, he's caught back up with the pace car.
He was
here.
first to the pace car. Can you be first to the line now?
That is the question, you know. Unfortunately, there is no bonus points for being the first guy to catch back up to the iRacing pace car. So, well, I'm not entirely sure what to say at the moment, other than I do hope they get this sorted out.
I think we pull a driver up here and try to figure out what's going on, and I could think of nobody better but Tyler Harrison, if we could find him. I believe he's down at Lightning Fast Motorsports.
Yeah, I'll bring him in.
Tyler Harrison, it's Bradley Cooper and Alex Gagnon in the broadcast booth. What is going on out there?
iRacing does not like us right now, is what I'm gathering here. Whatever happened during that green flag pit cycle, it made everything all jumbled up to think Rich uses a control car, even though the 23 was leading and came into pit road before the car. It's a... Who knows? I have no idea what's going on. I'm just happy to be P3, so I'm going to just roll with it and not ask a single question and lock in for this restart.
Yeah, don't question the results here. Don't question the results. Now, outside of that, we're doubling back up. Is this official now? Can you tell us that? We're going back green.
We are going back green flag, 1 to green, double file restart. I'm going to be starting behind the 57 car, which would mean the 54 car is starting behind the 13 car, which I'm assuming makes Dakota the control car. So we're going to hopefully time this restart well and hopefully get this recharge rally Camry a good finish here for the recharge rally 200.
Right. Anybody want to shout out besides recharge rally before we let you go?
Not yet. Hopefully I'll be talking to you guys at the end. We'll get some good shout outs then.
All right. Appreciate you coming up here and talk to us.
Appreciate it, guys.
All right. Well, that answers that.
Yeah. So he's been moved back to Lightning Fast, and we'll see how this restart goes. When we go racing, it'll be what, 6-7 laps to go at this point. It's not going to be a whole lot. So that tire advantage has basically been neutralized with the restart and with the amount of pacing that everyone's been doing. It's going to be a shootout here in the desert. Going to be fun.
Under 10 laps to go. Dakota Floyd trying to go back-to-back. Al Likens, Tyler Harrison in the top 3. Gilbert, Earhart, Burns. Here we go, back underway. Into turn 1. A big jump on the outside. Likens is going to take the top spot.
Floyd spun the tires, took a massive shot there from Harrison. I hesitate to wonder if Likens got to the line there before the 57, because Dakota Floyd spun the wheels something fierce there. But here we go, still side by side.
Oh, what a save there from Burns, but he's going to lose some spots.
Likens and Floyd are around from the front of the field. The leaders wreck through the tri-oval. More contact there for Likens. Oh, man. First and second are taken out here with 5 laps to go. Oh, this is going to definitely take us to Racing Revolution overtime here in the Chapman Cup Series.
I'm pretty sure I saw a 57 car leave the ground here.
Oh, man, yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely got some hang time. Getting up over the pavement. Yeah,
And
Likens came back across the track. I think he got a piece there of Simpson, as Simpson was trying to get on by. Man, that's just a tough place I think it's a situation where Floyd was trying to get off the corner out toward the wall, and since a lot of times that inside car tries to dive for the apron, the 13 was trying to get down, expecting him to go down. And the two, I think, just got into each other big time off of 4 here. Oh, man, that is a hard hit, and then, yeah, a little bit of extra there from Simpson. Well, the dream of going back-to-back here for Floyd, that may have just ended right there.
Can we pull him back in the booth now?
Oh, Harrison?
I don't know. I don't think we should.
I probably also think so, but
yeah.
he is going to be the control car here, I think, with a few laps to go. That does not give him a ton of peace, though, I don't think, because you are going to have Carter Lins right there with him. The 66, I mean, he's been so fast all night.
I don't think that we're going to make it to overtime just yet. I think we're going to get the 1-to-go signal. It's going to be a natural green-white checkered.
Oh, all right. Well, that's fun. So no Chapman Cup Series overtime just yet. It's just going to be a naturally occurring 2-lap sprint to the finish. But if there is a caution before the white flag comes out, we'll re-rack it. We have 2 attempts at overtime if needed, so we'll hopefully not need to use them, and hopefully this thing will end at the scheduled distance, but you never know. And, man, I can't help but wonder if the end of this race has been robbed a little bit by whatever happened with iRacing there, because we were having ourselves a really, really entertaining middle back half of this race, and now with all the pacing, trying to get this sorted out through iRacing and having to re-rack it up, and basically a 2-lap shootout to the finish, who knows if these cars that we've seen be the dominant cars all day are going to get it done, or if something's going to happen just like what we saw with Likens and Floyd a moment ago.
3 cars off the racetrack with Michael Reed, Kyle Diaz, Nick Alves took an early exit 97 laps down. It's now 70 minutes pit road repair. Over an hour that Nick Alves has been down there. 27 minutes for Kyle Diaz, 15 now for Michael Reed as we double back up with Harrison, Lins, Gilbert, Earhart, Call, the top 5. Matt Robinson back in the top 10. How about that for the 11? And with the way his day started, that's incredible.
Unreal. Absolutely unbelievable. What a recovery for the 11. And then, you know, looking through the rest of the top 10 just after him, Trevor Keith, Dylan Picklesheimer, Daniel Holloway, Jeremy Burns. So it's going to be interesting to see who's going to get the advantage here. I still think any one of those top 4 could be the one to take it home here. They've all been lightning today out here in Vegas. They've just been flying. And right now, they are all going to be chasing that car, the 45, and this is easily the best track position he's had all day. He's been kind of stuck in the back half of the top 10 early, or the high part of the top 15 most of the day. Does he have the speed and clean air to go head-to-head with the pole sitter and get the job done? We know Lins is fast, and we know Lins is going to be fighting for it. He's come so close a couple times this season, but still looking for that one. Let's see if today's the day for the 66.
45 on the inside for this restart. Pace car out of the way. Natural green-white checkered. Still in regulation for 134 laps. The green flag is out. Wheel spin for the 66. And it's the 45 into turn 1 with a big lead. 3 wide into the corner. Lins kicking himself.
Oh, that is absolutely heartbreaking there for the 66 of Lins. He's been so fast today, and there's just no time. Oh, someone's around. Burns spinning down the back straightaway. He's not the only one. Caution's out.
Into overtime this time.
Justice Murphy, I think that was Al Likens, who also was spinning in there. Man, oh, man. Oh, boy, the 13, the front end just destroyed on Likens' car. if anything, that may have just bailed out Carter Linz. He'll at least get another chance at it here because we'll be going to OT. But, man, for Jeremy Burns, that's a frustrating end to the day. Justice Murphy out Likens. Boy, have things just fallen apart here late for the 13.
Back us up a little bit further on the restart. It's on board with Parker Johnson. He's just not giving anything there. You can't. It's the end of the race.
With 2 laps to go, it's either, get moving or get out of the way. And, that was only a minimal amount of contact, but coming off the corner, that's all it takes sometimes to get a car out of sorts.
Hello, Justice Murphy. Not what you want to see, though, when you're trying to get the car back up to speed.
No, certainly not. Having to stare down face to face with another driver on the backstretch there. Not ideal. As you see, they'll all be bringing it down pit road here, trying to get some last-second repairs in. As we get ready for OT, basically what'll happen, this race will restart with 2 laps to go. If another yellow flag comes out before they take the white flag, they'll re-rack it to try again for a green flag finish. And if they get to the white flag, the next flag, the checkered or the caution, will end the race. So when this thing gets going, basically just need to get
white flag
another lap around.
Yeah, that's, and we have 2 attempts at that here tonight. Everyone familiar in the chat with how this works. I'm just going to close my eyes. I told you to leave an hour ago.
Well, maybe sticking around is what got him over the hill here, and now he's in the prime spot. If anything, maybe the luck has returned.
Yep. It's so strange and surreal how these races go, and I've always talked about it in the actual experience of racing here on iRacing is you always gotta play till the whistle. You have to race till that checkered flag because you never know what can happen. You could have an abysmal day on lap 1. We saw that with the 11 of Matt Robinson. Look where he's running, 6th spot. We saw that earlier with the 23 of Schaefer. Unfortunately, he's not doing as well, but he is in 12th. There's a lot that can happen in this race. You can recover yourself. You have to stick it out until the final lap.
Yeah, 100%. And we've even seen that with, say, Trevor Earhart. Wasn't necessarily an issue, but he fell out of the top 10 in that opening stage after qualifying 4th, and now he's right back up there, one of the faster cars on the track. It's, and especially we've seen already today an incident that has taken out 10, 12 cars at once with that incident going into turn 3 just before the stage. Things get crazy on these OT sort of restarts. If something like that happens coming to the checkered, you could be running 20th and all of a sudden you finish the day with a top 5. It's just a matter, you gotta, you kind of keep digging until there's no more laps to go. This will be a fun restart. Michael Call slides into that 3rd spot here alongside Trevor Earhart. Up front, you've got Tyler Harrison, Caleb Gilbert.
I hope you take it lightly, Tia, but we're about to see our first green-white checkered attempt here at Las Vegas with the Recharge Rally 200, the leader, sponsored by Recharge Rally. Caleb Gilbert to the outside, Michael Call, Trevor Earhart, and Trevor Keith. 2nd row, back in the 3rd row on this restart. Here we go with a big jump into turn 1. Call clears for 2nd.
Yeah, Harrison's been crushing these restarts since he's had the opportunity to be the control car. Call and Gilbert, now Keith battling to the inside for 3rd as they make their way to the back straightaway. Here comes Michael Call, though. That 5's got to run.
And it's the 45 off of turn 4. Will we make it to the white flag? It looks like we will. And Tyler Harrison has one more time around, presented by Earhart Homes. Love where you live. He has to hold off the 5.
Call thought about going high, cut back low. He's going to have to make something happen in 3 if he wants a chance. Using the draft down the back straightaway. Here he goes, diving to the inside.
In contact in the back of the field, but there's contact at the front. 45 off the corner, makes a door touch. Can he get it?
Oh, here we go!
3 wide for the lead.
I think it was the 5. Holy. Who got that at the line? They were throwing haymakers at each other. And
Officially,
Michael Call.
5 thousandths of a second.
5 1,000ths of a second. Only led 1 lap. Talk about going for it until there was nothing left to go for. Michael Call, are you kidding me? What a drive there for the 5. And heartbreak for Tyler Harrison. Wow. I'm at a loss for words there, Bradley. That was a genuine 3 wide coming to the line for the race win. And I'll be honest, when the 5 kind of bailed out of the attempt in 1 and 2, I didn't think he was going to have a chance to get there. But he found a way to just drive it in further enough, and it stuck in 3 and 4. And then they were throwing some haymakers at each other down the front straightaway. And tell you what, if this was Talladega and that start-finish line was over at the entrance of 1 and 2, I think Trevor Keith would have got them both.
Trevor Keith, 4 hundredths of a second across the line. Let's go back on the replay here. We got to go back.
Oh, my God. Wow. One more look at this. This is on the last lap going down the backstretch. And the 5, you see he just launched it in there, and it stuck to the bottom of the racetrack. Honestly, that was as clean as you could ask for on the last lap. Then a little bit of contact there at the exit of 4. One more little door bang there. Literally like Darlington 03. These guys are glued together at the line. Dare I say, if the 45 doesn't have nose damage, do you think this is a tie?
I'm trying to find Trevor Keith down here on the bottom.
He wasn't too far back either, man. He was digging for that line. Holy, look at that.
One more time. That's a send. You know you have 4 tires. That's a send.
And look, the fact that I think almost because he just barely got a piece of the apron, that's what helped that car hook the bottom. I don't think if he gets, if he gets slightly less of the apron there, I don't think that car is going to stick the way it did. But if he gets too much of it, he's going to spin out. I think that was the absolute perfect place for the 5 to put that race car. And then, they're running each other tight. 45 with a door bang, the 5 with a door bang. And Trevor Keith right in the picture as well. Wow.
Well, it's going to be interesting for the top 3, is it not?
Oh, you betcha. Man, oh man.
Well, we have an opportunity here as we have everyone in the top 3.
Well, we have 2/3 of our top 3.
We have 2/3 of our top 3. Dakota Floyd popping in there to talk to a few of these drivers, maybe having some conversations, but we do have victory lane here. Alex Gagnon has caught up with your race winner, Michael Call.
Hey there, Michael. This is Alex and Bradley up in the Vspeed booth. You got a copy?
Oh, yes, I do, boys. I've been waiting a long time to talk to you guys in the first place position.
I tell you what, boy, was that a finish of all time. What a battle at the end. I know things got a little weird there with iRacing and some of the pace laps at the end, but ultimately it boils down to a green-white checkered. You had been hanging around, the top 5, top 10 a good bit of the day. Finally had your chance to restart on the, in the top 2 rows on that last green-white checkered. I need to ask you, what was going through your mind on that last lap, especially going into 3 and 4?
Okay, so we got to go back a little bit. The last two restarts were the first restarts all race that I started on the inside. And I made spots both time I started on the inside. But I lap 1 on the restart, I pretty much was wide open through 1 and 2, and I noticed how much I caught Tyler. And I had a little bit fresher tires on 2 tires, but I had taken 2 tires twice in a row, so the lefts were pretty burnt. And I realized how much I caught him, and then I just ran a really clean 3 and 4 and didn't lose much time. So I barely lifted through 1 and 2, and I figured he was going to block the middle, knowing that I was going to try to build the run. So I just kind of sit it in there, and I hit the apron a little bit and got up into him. I didn't want to get into him at all, but I didn't. I don't race that way, and I'm glad he didn't wreck when I did get into him. And I appreciate him racing me clean. And I mean, 3 wide to the line, photo finish with 2 of my affiliate teammates. I can't complain.
Yeah, that was crazy stuff to watch up here in the booth. I mean, we were watching it just in shock and awe. But I mean, this top to bottom feels like it was a really complete day for you. Started top 10, if I remember correctly. Pretty sure you got some stage points out of it. Got the win here as well. I mean, you were just kind of in the mix all day. Is there something about this track that you really like, or did things just kind of line up right today?
Well, if you guys remember back to Phoenix when we had our interview and I ran 3rd, I told you that 1.5 miles are what I feel are my strong suit. And I honestly, there on the original start, I got nose damage on the start because someone checked up. So I barely held on to a top 10 in the stage, and then just knew that these races sometimes get crazy, and sometimes you just got to make sure you have a clean car, and hopefully you have the best tires at the end. And luckily it fell into a position where I was able to just almost just take it into my own hands and make a move to Tyler's inside. But no, nothing about this track in particular. I think it's just 1.5 miles in general. I'm pretty good about saving the right front, and that's a big deal later in the runs. And typically in this league, we get some really long runs and some green flag runs, and we got one there. And I actually, there on that one run I charged from 12th to 6th later in the run. So no, it's just 1.5 miles, and this season is primarily 1.5 miles. So hopefully we can be talking to you guys again a lot soon, like a lot more and very soon.
Yeah, I'll say, if you keep bringing the speed you brought today, I have no doubt that we'll have the opportunity to talk to you some more as the season goes along. I believe you are now the 5th different winner in the opening 5 races this season, which is pretty cool. But Michael, from Victory Lane here tonight, anyone you'd like to shout out on the win here tonight?
You guys for the incredible broadcast. You guys do a great job. I love going back and sitting and watching it the next day with my 2-year-old. So you guys do a great job. The league, 5 different winners and 5 races just shows how competitive and hard this league is. I have been trying to get my 2nd win because I won Atlanta kind of in a luck my first season for so long, and I've been so close, and finally was able to get it. Everybody at Stormcloud Motorsports, Justice, their whole team, my whole team, just it's crazy how much I've gained in speed since joining them and how serious they do take this. So I appreciate them. I appreciate all the league sponsors. Appreciate you guys again. And yeah, hopefully we keep going.
Alrighty, well, hopefully we'll get to talk to you again soon there, Michael. Congrats, and don't let us hold you up anymore here from celebrating the win here tonight.
I'm going to go crack a Coors Light right now.
Well-earned one indeed.
Thanks, guys.
And that is Michael Call, your race winner here tonight from Las Vegas by 5 1/1000ths of a second.
We have more post-race coverage to come up in just a moment's time. The rest of your top 3 and those final race results. Don't go anywhere. Post-race coverage continues from Las Vegas in the Recharge Rally 200 here on Vspeed.
JS Racing. We're in the game.
Gentlemen, start your engine!
Hey Dad, did you know that replacing your cooling system reduces repair costs and improves energy efficiency? Plus, it operates more efficiently, which means more money in my pocket. I mean, your pocket. Hey Dad, did you know that a new cooling system is less noisy and has a smart thermostat you can control from your phone?
How'd you get so smart?
Must be from Mom.
When it comes to your home's most important decisions, make the smart choice and trust your local Cedar Rapids Pro partner. We're in your neighborhood, so call today.
Welcome back here to Las Vegas Motor Speedway. After a week's hiatus, the action picks up right where it left off. Your Stage 1 winner, Carter Lenz, with 11 cautions and 18 lead changes here today. Long green flag runs, strategy, and a different name in victory lane. Michael Call getting the win here tonight. Final results up on your screen. Tyler Harrison by 5/1000ths of a second. The door touch, the clip, and Trevor Keith for the top three. You could split those drivers by less than 5/10ths of a second across the line. Three wide finish. Definitely a top 10 here for finishes on Vspeed. Trevor Earhart will finish in fourth. And I'll go back to what you said there, Alex. I feel like we got robbed of some of the outcomes we could have saw, but that's the roller coaster that is racing. Dylan Picklesheimer with a top 5. You have Jeremiah Nelson with a top 10. A lot of cars that were supposed to be up here based off speed throughout the night, they end up back up here, but it was topsy-turvy. Daniel Holloway in the 21 and Matt Robinson, the standouts here of cars that got involved in something early, get back to this top 10 position. Grant Thorpe in the 77. He gained 24 positions, biggest mover of the race here this evening. And Parker Johnson rounding out your top 10.
Looking back to 11th, it is the pole sitter Carter Lenz, who had a great day going until that late spin of the tires cost him some spots. He'll finish 11th. Michael Bennett will be 12th. Brandon Pamitat 13th, just ahead of Christopher Schaefer in that 14th position. 15th here tonight is going to be Dakota Floyd. Kevin Orlando Jr. in 16th, just ahead of Ben Lafter. Joe Joya, Brandon Richardson, and Jacob Sirkovich rounding out the top 20.
Going to be Jeremy Burns in the 9. We saw a late caution there with the 9 car. He got sideways and spun out. Justice Murphy doing a fantastic job all race in the first half, saving the tires and keeping the car in the top 10. It went up 22nd. Grant Turner led some laps here this evening. He went up 23rd. Caleb Gilbert, another one of those cars that got the bad end of it on that green-white checkered. He'll finish at 24th. Al Likens, prior to that green-white checkered, contact with Dakota Floyd. We talked about him finishing 15th. Al Likens finishes 25th. Justin Ritchie in the 55 going to finish out 26th spot. It was Kyle Stewart that had that caution there. Got up in front of somebody and a lot of contact there. I believe it was Michael Reed. And that brought out our string of natural and unnatural green-white checkers. Malcolm Simpson's going to finish in 28th. I mean, a little bit of confusion here on my timing and scoring. So what I'm seeing here on your screen, what you're seeing here That's a little bit different. So it's Simpson, Pennington, Stewart there, 27th, 28th, 29th. With Alex Forget, Berube, 4 more cars to talk about with Sam Taylor in the 3, Michael Reed an early exit, Kyle Diaz 45 laps down, and Nick Alves, who had problems in the 24. He had over 70 minutes of repair done for the day in last place. But now it's time to bring you trackside and get the rest of your top 3 into the broadcast booth. The next driver we're going to talk to is your second place finisher. You said you weren't going to thank anybody else until you got up into the broadcast booth. So here's your opportunity here, Tyler. Man, 5,000ths of a second, the door touch, the door bang, 3 wide across the line. What a finish here tonight, but I know this one's a little bit bittersweet.
Yeah, I mean, this sucks. I'm very, very happy with the second place finish. So big shout out to everybody at LFM, Rolling Thunder Racing, and everybody who practiced really hard to do this. I mean, to be fair, I didn't think I was probably going to be a top 5, let alone maybe like a top 10 car for most of the race. Car setup just felt like really tight a lot of the time on corner exit, and it was hard to navigate in traffic. So trying to go 2 tires right in between that caution that we got on the stage, tried to get some track position off that, and honestly it didn't feel too good doing that. So gamble really came through stretching that last fuel run and just running as long as I possibly could. I honestly thought I was going to run out of gas at the end, but thankfully we just got very lucky with the caution. 57 and the 13 made contact, which even put me in position to get up front, and just I wish it would have just stayed green that first restart. We probably would be in a different position.
I can hear somebody wanting to keep you company right now.
Yeah, let me get my cat Ivy. I don't think my cat Ivy's
ever. I think we need a stream cat. There we go.
This is my stream cat. This is my
cat
Ivy.
Well, I got to ask you here, Tyler. You take that final restart. You're up in the front spot. You get out to a big jump. Did you expect Michael Call to have that momentum into 3 and 4 to even get to your inside?
Well, no, but I also don't expect people that we work with on a weekly basis to just adore you, even though it's for the win. I mean, I came all of a quarter of an inch from hitting the wall and just taking us both out. So that's something that we'll have a conversation on. Just really frustrated with that, especially with people who complain about other people race them, and then they race people a certain way. So it is what it is. Just again, happy with the second place finish. Biggest shout out here, of course, getting this car on the podium is for Ryan and AJ, Recharge Rally, who put on that rally every year and support my passion for doing this here. So I'm very, very thankful to be able to give them a huge shout out up here and be able to get them a respectable finish, because at one point I probably wasn't. So happy with that. I wish we could have sealed it off and wish I could have gotten raced a little bit different at the end. But
Tyler, we appreciate you coming up here in the broadcast booth. I think you've thanked everybody and talked to everybody that you could and put this car in a better situation than what you might have felt like in the first half of this race. We'll see you next week when we go on April Fools to Auto Club.
That's not an April Fool's joke. That'll be a fun racetrack to run at. So looking forward to it. It should be a good one.
There we go. Second place finisher Tyler Harrison here tonight. So we move on down our podium. We're going to bring up our third place finisher, and I'm cycling the cameras, so just bear with us. But it is Trevor Keith in the number 15. I've had parody in this broadcast several times before. You look just as shocked as I am to be here tonight.
Let me tell you something. I mean, about 20 laps to go, 25, 30. I was running, 15th, 16th. I mean, the long run pace I had was terrible. If you'd have told me I was going to finish third, I would have been like, no, I'm not. You're dumb. So we're pretty happy over here with that one.
Trevor, we go through all of the roller coaster emotions, and you gotta run this race to the end. That's what I talked about midway through this broadcast. It is played till the whistle all the way through this thing.
All the way through. I mean, I went from 3 wide for second at the stage. Then I, for some reason, toasted my right front up and dropped all the way down to almost 20th, I think. And they got back up to top 10, started dropping back again, and then those cautions fell at the right time for me because my long run pace was just terrible. So had some good restarts, and then some guys just kind of clear their ways out, I guess, from you, and you end up in third. So, yeah, I mean, you just stay in it, and luckily I had those stage points to kind of keep me in it and be like, well, just get as many spots as possible, and the stage points will help. And restarts really felt my way there at the end, though. I was killing it on those last couple restarts, and I don't know. I'm just, like you said, I'm as shocked as you are to be in third for this race.
Well, and you come across the line 3 wide by 0.05 of a second. You have 0.005 of a second there for Harrison and Michael Call. 3 wide for the lead. If the start finish line is probably 100 feet further away, you might have won this race.
There for a second, I was like, hold on. Their side, I got to run here. And so I pulled down as low as the apron as I possibly could to try and see if I couldn't steal it away. And apparently we just missed it. But, you know, we'll keep racing at the front. Eventually you're going to get one. I say that, but
we've seen it.
We'll keep trying. But
we've seen it, man.
Yeah.
I know that you have a lot of potential here, and I know that you're going to be in those final 10 or 16 or whatever the elimination will be. I know that you've got a lot of drive behind you, and this is a long season. So, Trevor, go ahead and shout him out. It's early in the season. Who put this 15 car in third place tonight?
Oh, shout out KSX Racing Graphics. We got a couple cars out there. The first and third and fourth are KSX. You don't think paint schemes buy speed, but they do. No, I'm just playing. Shout out to Twitch, Keystone 48. We're live every week. Not to take anybody away from the broadcast though, because also shout out Vspeed, you guys do a great job every week. And all the league sponsors, Coastal Financial, Chapman, All About Bugs, Earhart Homes. I actually haven't even looked who re-signed and who didn't this year. I don't know if I said it or not. I'm blanking now. It's early.
Well,
I haven't been up here yet.
It's all right, man. It's 5 weeks in. You go ahead and write it all down. I'll give you a list. And you know what? I think Alex Gagnon's going to thank Recharge Rally one more time. So we have them on the racetrack here tonight. But we appreciate you coming.
Cooling as well.
There you go. There you go. Hey,
that one. I have this one.
Yep. You better thank Carter Lindsay. He had a rough restart there at the end.
Yeah. Yeah. He had a tough end of the race there. That dude was flying. I mean, just dominated the whole race almost. So he'll get his, I'm sure, very, very soon, if not next week. So he's good just about anywhere we go.
Qualified third, finishes third, green, white checkers. Trevor Keith, we'll see you next week at Auto Club.
Hopefully be back up here.
So there you have it, your third place finisher of the evening. And this one is going to go down as one of the ones we remember. Season 6, it's just, I will quote you, Alex Gagnon, banger after banger after banger. That we saw that at road courses. Now we're seeing it here at mile and a half. This car has not disappointed.
Nah, this league never disappoints, man. Chapman Cup Series, week in, week out, puts on some of the best stuff I've seen on this platform in a very long time. But yeah, one more time, just want to remind the folks at home, because this is big stuff. This race was sponsored by Recharge Rally. It's the all-inclusive 3-day road trip made for modern car enthusiasts. Hosted once a year, this event takes over 50 drivers and their cars on a journey to see the best back roads, racetracks, and cities in the country. This year's rally heads south from July 30th to August 2nd and features stops in Chattanooga, Tennessee, Greensville, South Carolina, and Charlotte, North Carolina. Along the way, you'll enjoy a private track day at Atlanta Motorsports Park, a day of karting at Trackhouse Motorplex, and an entire day of scenic driving through the best roads in the region. Everything is included with admission, hotel, meals, track time, merch, and more, but spots are limited, so visit therechargerally.com to register. That's therechargerally.com.
That link in the description. A lot of drivers live stream that event when it goes on, so you can also ride on board and be involved in the event. But that's going to do it for us. We have one more thing to talk about here as we get lined up for next week. It's Auto Club on April Fool's Day. So a racetrack that doesn't exist anymore, we're going to go race at it. April 1st, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. You can catch week number 6 just before our Easter break here at Racing Revolution. That's going to do it for us here. For everybody at Vspeed to help put this together, Adam Baker, Eddie Smith, Morgan Cook, and for my co-host Alex Gagnon, this is Bradley Cooper saying so long. Stay tracking, everybody.